Welcome, everyone. It's the Rexer Show, and I have two Evercade Shills with me to balance out the talk. Not one. We have a one mediocre shill, and then we brought on Brooklyn Menace, who is a huge Evercade shill, which we'll let him talk in a second. But first, we need to ask ourselves who needs this, and Twisted Chris gave the answer earlier with people who with YouTube channels need it. Everyone else doesn't. We can end the stream right there. He just answered the question. We don't need to talk anymore because Kev, for the past week or two, all we've heard is shills, shills, shills. Evercade Alpha's coming. Oh my God, it's going to save the community. It's hope. It's everything. Oh my God, Mike B, the game, Super Game Room dudes, 19K Fox, Evercade. They're all Evercade fans now, and it's going to save the community.
Yeah. Ask them how many carts they've purchased with their own money.
I would like to start by saying one thing, Rexer. I have a YouTube channel.
Yes. Have you done Evercade videos more than you've done more videos gameplay than they've done in years? That's the difference. You like the Evercade.
We actually have people who can speak about the Evercade intelligently, who have actually bought the products, like the products. And then we have me who thinks that, just so you know, if it's not FPGA emulation, you don't want it. Okay. I'll use like Stringer Films example. If you can't fit in the arcade, you don't want it, you know? So if it's not FPGA to me anymore, this is just all garbage emulation. I don't like the Evercade. I don't like the handhelds. I don't like anything to do with these carts. I don't care. It's emulation. There's 500 ways to play the same games for less money instead of collecting carts. But Kev, you're addicted to it. Why don't you open up with your addiction, and then we'll get to Brooklyn's addiction.
Yeah, so I have a complete set. I made a video on it a little while ago. I do own 65 cartridges or 55 cartridges. Hey, listen, they're $20 a cart. Now they're like 23. They are an easy way to get some things like Atari Lynx that you don't might want to play on a stand-up, and it does feel good on the handheld. I'm not gonna defend my Evercade addiction, but I don't own every Evercade console. I don't own everything that Evercade has put out. I own the cartridges, and I will call it down the middle. But we have someone else on the stream that has everything that Evercade has put out. Everything.
Tell them about your addiction, Brooklyn.
So I also, like Kev Gret, have every cartridge along with a lot of doubles. Because, if one has the Peggy logo, Rexer, and one doesn't, I gotta have both.
What these means, Peggy logo. I don't. What do I know?
It's the European version, and then the North American version. It's the same exact cartridge.
See that one here, Rexer? He doesn't like that logo. That's 7.
I do like that logo.
Oh my God! What else do you have?
Rexer, yes,
I
have. Yes, I have all the limited edition handhelds. I have every limited edition VS, the limited edition Super Pockets.
Duke Nukem cons. What the hell is this?
Yeah, he's got the Duke Nukem.
I have the Atomic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Shameless Kev Gret plugging. All right, let's take. What else you got? Hurry up, because we'll be here all day with what you've wasted your money on.
I know. Your shows are like 20 minutes. I go for 7 hours. But yeah, I also have just the regular standard VS. That was the one that started my addiction, that's the one that I play on, because the other ones are more like collector's items.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about this Evercade Alpha in just a second. Let's take this $5 super chat from Papa Brad's Gaming for the #1 arcade channel. Brooklyn and Kev Gret, you guys rock. Can't disagree with that statement. You guys do rock. Brooklyn.
Thanks, Papa.
This is, I think, the first time, Brooklyn, maybe the first time you've been on the show, so welcome. Maybe you have been on one other time. I don't know.
No, I've never been on. You've been on with me.
I've been on with you then. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So we brought you on for your expertise and your shilling. Guys, I got to show this first. We don't even have to talk about this because Mad Little Pixel says this is awesome. It's new cartridge-based Evercade Alpha. Mad Little Pixel has said it. I've lost respect for this guy a long time ago. I'm sorry. I'll say it outright. He has started to shill. The whole premise of what he used to be, which is a non-shill-based channel, unbiased, has changed completely. And there's at least a few people who agree with me. But I know he has tons of fans. And I know he has a huge channel. But this guy is obviously on the shill list for Evercade. He came out with the video the minute at 9 o'clock this thing released. They had already given him the information. They're going to give him a free one. He's shilling it up. He's hyping it up. Kev, I don't know. You don't watch them, but maybe
No.
Brooklyn. Did you watch this video?
No, I watched everybody's
Okay.
Evercade Alpha video. Like as soon as they made the announcement, I just went, started refreshing, and as the videos were popping up, I was watching all of them.
So you love what he had to say, what Mad Little Shilster had to say.
I mean, he kept it simple, that he's just excited about it. Obviously, I know he'll be getting one for free.
Yeah.
So
yeah, okay.
Not like me. I'll be purchasing mine.
At least we know who's on the Evercade show list.
Yep.
1201. As soon as those videos came out,
as soon as Mike B, who's hyping this thing for a week, loved the Evercade all of a sudden, never even heard it, never even played it in his life, and now he's got the news. Mike B, the Game Genie, at 9 a.m. or whatever it was, 12 noon sharp Eastern time. That video came right out shilling this thing and how great it was and how. Man, these guys are sad. It's become a sad day now in this community where they are just hoping and begging for something to save the community that they can shill, and they're picking anything they can get their hands on. It's Evercade, it's Stern Pinball. I mean, I mean, there's all these things that they just want. Oh, New Wave Toys, whatever they can shill and get their free goods on. It's like chum in the water for these guys to try and get the first look on these consoles and whatever. They're pretty sad.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the Evercade Alpha. If you don't know what it is, Brooklyn, why don't you go ahead and explain it since you're our guest? Give everybody the lowdown of what this Evercade Alpha is and what they're going to be missing out on if they don't purchase it.
Well, what you're going to be missing out on is a countercade arcade, kind of similar to Arcade 1-Up's countercades, 8-inch screen. But the difference with this, it is going to have the built-in games. The difference with this, though, if you have an Evercade collection or you start the addiction like Kev Gret and I, you have pretty much an endless amount of games to play on this. They are going to have a deluxe version. That is the version that I'm going to go for because it's going to have 6 marquees. And it's going to have all Sanwa controls, Sanwa sticks and buttons.
So it gives you 6 different marquees to swap in and out.
Yeah, I think that's a nice idea to do that.
Yeah,
and you know
what?
You'll
get tired of swapping them out after 1 or 2 times, and the other 5 will be sitting on the side in a box.
I have a feeling I'll probably keep most of mine in the box, but I have a feeling it's going to just slide out.
Let's go with the no. That's a good option. They're going to give you Sanwa controls, but Brooklyn, it says right here in the middle. These are competition grade full-size arcade controls. Why would I need to swap them out if these are competition full-size arcade controls?
Well, so the one I was talking about is only going to be available on Fun Stock. Okay. So these are going to be the standard editions. And then if you want to get...
But these are competition grade. Why do you need to upgrade? You're not answering the question. You came on the Rexer show. You know you're going to get pegged for some tough questions.
Who are you competing against on this anyway, Rexer? You can only play with yourself.
Now we're getting it. Now we're getting the right answer. There we go. Plus, these things are tiny, these joysticks. They say full size. That does not look like a full size to me. But anyway, go on. Keep promoting this, please. Maybe they'll give me a free one if you shill it hard enough. One downfall is no HDMI out. But speaking with Kev, he kind of brought up something that makes a lot of sense, is they want to be able to allow people that own the Namco cartridges to play them. And I think part of the licensing with that is you can only play it on something that does not have an HDMI out. Okay. So that could be a reason why you won't be able to do that. For me, it's just I like the built-in games. I like the choices on both of them. And having every single cartridge, it's just something I can pop on a desk or a table, and it's just another way I can play it. And I think it's another way you can play it out of the 50 ways you already have to play it.
How many ways do you need?
Rexer, I have ways that I don't even use. I mostly play this on a huge TV downstairs. I like to kick back and relax. Yeah. But here's why I'm going to tell you why I think that this is a great idea. Because recently I decided I picked up the 8-bit dough arcade stick and hooked it up to the Evercade, and it kind of changed the game for me. Not every game makes sense to play that way, but there are so many games, even that weren't arcade titles, that are simple, one or two button games, and they play so well with the stick. So I think that this is just, it's the next step for Evercade. It's the one thing they don't have.
You just made a great point. You can plug in the 8-bit, which is also Bluetooth, I guess, but I wouldn't want to use the Bluetooth functionality on that. But you can plug that stick into anything and run every single one of these games on a huge TV right in front of you, on your consoles, on your Pis, on every single one of these tchotchke emulation devices, and play thousands of games. But now we want to buy this so we can plug it into here and play it on an 8-inch screen.
Yeah.
The screen is too small. Why do I want to play this in the chat? Why do I want to plug in another fight stick into this thing when I can just plug a fight stick into my PlayStation, into my PS5, my Xbox, my Raspberry Pi, my mini consoles? I can plug a fight stick into everything, run 30th anniversary, and play all these games and more. So I'm trying to understand why this thing is even needed for anybody who thinks that they're going to play on this deck. Look at that deck. Your hands are going to be falling off. Your palms are falling off the edges. This thing is 9 inches wide, and it's, I think, 16 inches tall, which 8 inches of that is marquee.
It's the marquee.
So, all right, Kev, what else on this?
Here's my stance on this. If you, like Brooklyn, have 18 ways to play your Evercade carts, you don't need this. This is redundant. You don't get anything new from this, Brooklyn. It doesn't even have the HDMI. You just actually made your own counterpoint by saying you play most of it downstairs with your 8-bit dough and your big screen. How does this fit in with that? With that play style? It doesn't.
No online leaderboards. Here, let's take this one. It's about the form factor, especially if you like the countercades. Now, Zod, they all have the arcade 1-up countercades. Remember, the 2-player was great. It was awesome. The 1-player, you guys already got these. Nobody wants to play on a fighting game on this type of control panel. It's not fun. It's just with this joystick and these buttons and your hands so close and falling off the edges. Now, which I'll say something good, maybe the other one's okay. Maybe you can play these other games like Strider and stuff like that. But I am not playing fighting games on this machine, on that control panel, and thinking it's fun when I can go buy a Hori fight stick, any other fight stick, and I can plug it into any device I want and play all these games or more, including they don't have hyper fighting on it. They don't have Third Strike. They don't have a lot of games. Give them credit, Kev. They have Alpha.
They have Alpha. So they got it before 1-up. So if you compare this to the 1-up countercades or whatever they were pushing, you have a better argument. But as an overall addition to your collection, I don't really see this value adds anything to Brooklyn, there's no value here that is different than what you have in your 18 other ways. I would even argue now that the Super Pockets that they put out for $60, which I was down on, is a better value than this now at $229.
That's the thing is people are playing on those Super Pockets. Like I have them, but there's no way I can't play on a 2-inch screen. I won't be able to see anything. So if people can handle that, I think that they'll be able to handle an 8-inch screen.
And it's portable, and they could go play it in the bathroom. You can't bring this to the bathroom and play this thing.
And there's no battery, right?
There's no battery. There's no rechargeable battery. So not only do you have to be huddled over a desk, it's got to be near an outlet, or you're dragging a battery pack with you. So I don't even think they understand what they have, or else they would have put a rechargeable battery in this, and you can play it anywhere you go because it's that small.
There is no online, Biggity.
No online.
That would have been really great to have.
Yeah.
No.
Now you're talking about something that adds some, I don't know, something to it that gives it some reason to buy it. Oh, I can play online with people. Okay. Yeah. Maybe. So here we go with this thing. The price is $229, not including tax and shipping. If there is, I don't know. I didn't pre-order, so I don't know. Did you already do your pre-order, Brooklyn?
The pre-orders don't start till next week.
But Rexer, by the way, that's the FOMO pre-order price. It's actually $250 if you don't pre-order on time.
Don't pre-order. That's all right. Brooklyn, what? Okay. So you're going to buy this. How are you going to play? Are you going to plug one of your joysticks in and play, or are you going to play on that control panel? That's what I want to know.
No, I'm going to play on the control panel. But
do you own an arcade
deluxe
1-up?
edition? I do.
Do you own
I have
arcade 1-up?
No, I have the Partycade, the Defender Partycade.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but that doesn't have Street Fighter in that on it. That's not a counter.
I don't play fighting games anyway, so I'm not even interested in the Street Fighter model. I would go with the Mega Man model.
Oh, okay. All right. Here's the thing, guys. These things are not new. The Shills hyped it up like, oh my God, they're going to come up with something great, and it's going to. These things have been out there forever, especially things like Game Room Solutions and other build-a-cades. They send you a kit, you put it together. It's bigger, it's better, it's got a better screen, it's more playable. There are dozens of ways. This is not new. We had the countercade, the arcade one-ups countercades, and I actually don't mind the countercades, okay, the things like this, but not for fighting games. I think it's stupid for fighting games. If you put Pac-Man on one of these things, or you put, Galaga or something like that on these machines, I think it's fine. It's playable and it's doable. But this concept, this form factor, I don't know. Kev, you got anything to say about it?
Yeah, just go get the Build-A-Cade from Glenn, throw a pie in it, and you're still saving money and getting thousands more games.
and HDMI out to
and
your TV.
HDMI. What's the Build-A-Cade's $100.
There's so many different options. Go over the carts real quick that you were explaining earlier about those carts about.
Yeah, so this is what's interesting. They're touting this as an arcade cabinet, whatever you want to call it, and they haven't released an arcade collection in almost a year. So they have 3 different kinds of carts. The red carts are console games. They have 39 of these. Tomb Raider is the 40th, which is coming out shortly. They have 10 of these C64. I'm sorry. They have 6 of these. Oh, I froze.
Yeah, the computer collection.
Sorry. Yeah, so they have 6 of these and they have 10 of the arcades, but they haven't released an arcade collection in almost a year. So what's the point of saying this is an arcade cabinet when they didn't even announce it with a collection to hype you up with?
Yeah. But here's the thing, Kev. Evercade is very consistent at putting out at least 8 cartridges every year. And who knows what kind of deals they have going on and what we're going to see. Like, we're already seeing them announcing games like Tomb Raider. So and there's still there's about 4 more cartridges coming out before the end of the year.
Yeah, but if you were going to announce this with an arcade, wouldn't you kind of say, "Hey, we're committed to the arcade form factor. Here's a cart to go with it." It's been a year since
I'm surprised it hasn't. This is like one of the only products besides the Super Pocket that I've seen them release that doesn't come with at least like 1 or 2 cartridges, depending on which version you get.
Exactly.
But I guess they're justifying that by the built-in games.
Yeah. How fast till somebody buys this and says, "I'm just going to throw a pie in it and have 10,000 games"?
Well,
why would you? The whole point with Evercade, Rexer, is there are still a lot of people out there that like to have physical stuff, and it's not only about just having the cartridge. They do a full color book which explains every game, kind of like old school, and people enjoy that. And you have all these cartridges. And you have this now.
You know they're ROMs, though. You know they're ROMs, right? On there, you realize that,
I'm
right?
100% aware of that.
It's not actual real hardware here. I got a cartridge too. It's got 10,000 games on it.
Yeah, I know. It's basically like an SD card.
It's just like a cartridge, guys. I just put this in.
But it's shaped like a cartridge.
10,000 games. If it's not FPGA, if it's not real hardware, I don't care. Just because you put it in a shiny little cartridge that isn't real and you collect them, that's where they're getting you with this. They get you addicted, like Kev said.
Yeah.
You get addicted to collecting these cards and you line them all up.
Yeah, you line them up.
You think you look like one of those YouTubers who got 10,000 carts lined up behind you, because you got all these Evercade things.
Rexer, at one point, Kev was getting envelopes of cartridges that he didn't even remember ordering. He had no idea what he was even opening.
It's a problem. I'm trying to save the people from going down this path, because the next thing you know, they buy this and then they're buying carts after cart after cart.
Yeah.
Kev, have you told Rexer how expensive some of the legacy carts are getting?
Yeah.
Please share.
Yeah, so these cards go out of print, meaning that they lose the license, and these cards are going for $200-$300. So there's like 8 of these that are up in three-digit figures. So people use that as an angle too, Rex. And they go, "Oh no, these cards are worth $400. I have 4 cards worth $400." But it's like, I'm never going to sell it. You know what I mean? So it's only worth if you sell it.
Yeah,
but
here's the thing.
I'm not going to.
If you don't have anything, if this is your first, countercade, your first emulation device, then it's probably a good one, because it'll be fun. You can collect carts. You can have a lot of emulation. Yeah. But if you have arcades lined up with all these games and multi-cades, and you have little consoles with all these ways to play it, and you have all these different, you have a PS5 with a fight stick, and you got the 30th anniversary collection, and you got this and you got that, you got this modded. Why are we hyping this up to buy it?
I mean, I agree with that. It starts to get like, I've been going in the opposite direction, just trying to like lighten the load. I don't need to have 50,000 arcades in the room. It just gets too cluttered.
Yeah.
So I've gotten rid of a lot of stuff. like if it's not getting use.
Yeah.
But like my Evercade stuff, I highly enjoy it. It's very relaxing. I like kicking back and playing on it. And I think with this is what they're doing, honestly, is I think they're testing the waters with a smaller form arcade to see how well it does. And I think if this does well, we might see more of a 3/4 scale size.
Now, are they late to the party though?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody bought. Burst. Here's my thing: is did everybody buy these one-up countercades and get put off by how crappy they were? And now these guys come out with a decent product, right?
Yeah.
Some good games on there, 6 solid games, even if you don't want the carts, and you buy this thing, and it's a little late because people are already put off by the crap one-up, shield on them, and all these one-up shills, had them buy.
And Evercade just announced that they've sold 1 million cartridges, so they have a huge user base out there. This thing has been gaining popularity. That's why you see the cartridges going up, because people that were kind of late to the party are now trying to get a complete collection. And people take advantage of that online. Yeah. So I don't know. I look. They started with handhelds. They moved on to the console, and this is the next step. Like, what else were they going to do? People were thinking it was going to be a more powerful console, but why would you release a more powerful console and announce that like 3 weeks after you just announced your new console? Like, people would be pissed off that just pre-order that. So I was saying for a while, I mean, it's going to be some sort of 3/4 scale arcade. And I was right, except for the size.
Yeah.
To me,
I can't argue with Trev. I mean, there's a lot of Evercade addicts out there. You see Reddit, you see all these, guys. Plus, you got the shills who want to get on board for their YouTube channels, who are going to push it and act like they like it. That's great. Carts, are worth money because you have Kev and Brooklyn who are buying them. It's all about demand. And I think it'll do fine. It looks like a decent product. I think the main thing is they made a decent product. Okay. If it looks
and
solid,
it's cheap.
It's not too expensive. And if you own the carts, you're going to get, hundreds and hundreds of games, that you can just plug and play. So
it may bring in some new users for Evercade that never considered getting it. And then they're going to get that addiction to the cartridges.
Well, that's the thing is here's what's funny is now, this was a console. There's always been kind of a distinction of arcade people versus console people, right? It's kind of like, we were the consoles, and now they've crossed over, and then you see all these arcade shills who are now like, look at we can hype Evercade even more now because now they've crossed over into the arcade world, So they're trying to get best of both worlds here with Evercade,
But there's 1,000 of these My Arcades out there. There's the form factor is not new. And they're only $40. So technically, if we're shilling this, then we need to go back and show all those crappy My Arcades, all those Data Easts that came in those little form factors, and that's $20. This thing is $240. It's crazy.
I mean, you got to remember the Atari one that was just released by I forget what it's called, the My Arcade Game Station. I forget what it was called. Anyway, I actually did a video on it, but I didn't buy it. That you can pop in an SD card and play any games you want, and it had a spinner and had all that.
Yeah.
Those guys didn't hype that. They didn't care,
No.
Because they weren't on the My Arcade train. Don't forget. They weren't in My Arcade's back pocket,
exactly. Yeah.
What's his face? Gen X grown up already had that. Locked down. He had that market cornered with My Arcade, so all the other shills were like, we'll leave this one alone.
I apologize. Sorry to cut you off, Kevin.
No, you're good.
Made a comment that shipping will be high. It was something I was concerned about because I get most of my Evercade products out of Europe. But what they're actually doing with this, it's going to come fully assembled. You just open the box and you're ready to go. They are actually going to be shipping from the US, even if you order from Funstock, which is
I didn't see that announcement. Where did you see that? I thought it was still coming from Europe. Oh. Okay, good. That'll save a little bit of money. It won't be 40. Hopefully it's not 40 bucks. Yeah, because I was
concerned, like if this thing's coming from overseas, how much the shipping would be.
Yeah.
But they're working that out as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, shipping it fully sized in that box is going to be.
It's going to be
something,
it's got to be
30,
16
40
inches,
bucks,
right? It's going to be.
Yeah.
It's got to be
Mikey's
wide
right.
enough.
The screen's too small.
It's small.
I'm not playing on an 8-inch screen. I don't care. It's on I'm not doing it. There's no
Which
point.
is why the HDMI would have been a positive for that, but no HDMI, you're stuck on that screen forever.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
come on.
I can tell you one thing I'm not doing. I'm not playing the controller games on the small screen. To me, there's no point for me to do that. I guess it makes sense to have that because some people, this might be the only Evercade product they have. Maybe they have no interest in the handheld or the console. But if I'm playing a game with the controller, yeah, I'm going to be downstairs on the 65-inch TV playing. But when I'm up here, it's going to be a nice little addition. With all the cartridges I have over 500 games. I know you're saying the screen is small, but some of these retro games, like some of the games that I'm finding through Evercade, they look nicer on the smaller screen because they're just old games.
Yeah.
And when you have them on a giant screen, you can really see the age of the game, but you put it down on a small screen, it looks good. There's a lot of quirky stuff on Evercade. Every cartridge is hit or miss, but I always find like a hidden gem.
Well, hit or miss or what? The emulation's bad, or you're saying the game list is bad?
No, hit or miss on the games list. Like they put some wild
but don't you know in advance when you buy it what games are on it?
But if you don't have 8, you can't get 9. That's the point. Yeah.
God,
now
right.
you know. Now you know why we do it.
It's got to line up in number sequence. I got 1, 2, 3. Look at Kevin. Way too addicted.
I was so shocked today. I hadn't even seen the announcement yet, and Kev was already texting me. He's like, "You better not be getting this, or I'm never talking to you."
I said, "I'm never talking to him again."
Well, we'll see what happens with it. We'll look for Brooklyn Menace's review on it.
Woo!
All right. Was that an Evercade hat, by the way?
Yeah, it was.
I also have Evercade socks on.
Evercade shill on.
He's got his underwear on tonight too.
Yeah, you want to see my Evercade underwear, Rexer?
No.
Oh gosh. That is just...
I'll be talking more about the Evercade tomorrow night on my show. I'm excited for it, so I'll be enjoying it, Rexer.
Have you?
Casino-cade has an 8-inch screen. Just plug in a controller to use Casino-cade.
Everyone crushed the Casino-cade. Remember, for its screen.
All these games. I don't know. Well, here's the one thing I want to say. Why you see people say, "Oh, I'm going to plug the controller in and play it on the." Why just grab a Bluetooth controller and turn on one of your other 50 devices and play it on your big screen?
Yeah, I agree. I'm not doing that. Yeah. I don't see the point in that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm over it, but all right, guys. I would expect a lot of comments of how wrong I am and how great this thing is. Put them out there. Buy it up.
Oh, wait. We got to show the poll. Got to show the poll.
Oh, yeah. Did you guys take the poll real quick? Let me take a look at the poll. Let's see.
Goofy said I'm going to hide it in my closet.
How do I even see the poll? Let's see. Here we go. Not Evercade. You are not buying it. 53%. I'm buying it for sure. 29%.
Wow.
Don't waste your money. 18%. And if I
voted 10 times.
10
if I could vote myself, I would have voted for.
I've actually been sitting here voting the whole show
on all your alt accounts. For sure.
Creating accounts.
30 buying. Yeah, 30. If 30 people are buying, that's really good. They're gonna have some success with this.
We'll have a good time together.
You can all put them right next to your dusty arcade one-up countercades. They'll look really nice right next to them. Remember they shilled everybody. All these one-up shills shilled them on this. None of you guys play those crappy things anymore. Especially the 2-player ones, but whatever. Just another dust collector. All right, thanks for joining, Brooklyn.
Thanks,
Kev,
Brooklyn.
As always. Thank you, Kev.
Appreciate it, everybody.
Kev, I'll be seeing Kev soon. We'll be together for 3 days at a gaming event.
Yes.
So looking forward to it, man.
June 19th, Brooklyn.
Wow.
Yeah, but too many games. I'm heading up Friday afternoon. I gotta book my room, so we'll do some shows.
I'll definitely be streaming on my channel and probably filming some 4K content.
Right,
we're getting out. We're getting out and seeing each other.
Make sure you head over to Brooklyn Menace. That's his channel.
There you go.
All right. I agree,
Thanks,
Dust Collector.
everybody.
Thank you, Nix. We'll see ya.
See ya.